Well, happy birthday to me. And by looking at the title, yep, I am 30 years old today. I know what you're thinking. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, is it genetics? Or I don't know why I look so young for my age. Is it because of my weight? Like, I know one of my biggest regrets during my 20s is that I really wish I lost weight. Like, I wish I lost it by now. Like, sure, even though I said I was doing a vegan diet, even though I stopped last month because it was, like, really affecting my health pretty bad. But, like, I look different. Like, well, you gotta, like, see me every day to, like, notice it. But I'm really glad, happy with where I am on my health. And I'm still gonna continue that journey to finally get fit. Like, something that I really wanted to do. I know that when people hit their 30s, they kind of feel like, am I doing good in life? Like, have I gone where I want to be? Like, sure, when I look back in my 20s, I thought maybe I would have been married by now, be working like my dream job. Like, when I was 20, I was studying in college to be a film director. Yep, a screenwriter and everything. But it's not that, like, I didn't have confidence in myself, but it's like that's the thing about when you're in your early 20s. You cannot like decide like what do you want to be when you grow up? Like where do you see yourself? Like back then 20 years ago, I never thought I was going to be where I am as a YouTuber that does press at Comic-Cons. I did not ever think of that as a career path at all. Like sure, like I took some classes in college that revolved around like electronic media, and that's where like I was able to like learn the information. Like my senior thesis in college was actually like I was writing up a paper about fandoms, people that like love pop culture as a religion. Like my advisor said, it was fandoms, which hey, I was even taking a class about religion and fandoms, like the religion and fandoms. But and it's like what ended up being my thesis, like my entire YouTube channel is just my college thesis. Like I'm covering fandoms, which I gotta look for that paper again. Like I'm trying to figure out what I did with it. Like I know I have a copy of it somewhere. If I had to say what's one of my biggest regrets during my 20s is that I really wish I was just more financially responsible. Like financially responsible. Like I know that's a common thing with like millennials of this generation where you're not saving enough money. Like am I able to get a house right now? No. Like I'm lucky that I'm okay. I was able to get a loan just to get my car, which that's another thing. Like sure, like if my dad were to talk to me right now, he'd be telling me like, oh, you should have studied to be an engineer, a doctor, and all that stuff. It's like no, no, no. Like, heck, me and him don't even talk right now. Like, I've not spoken to my dad in 2 years. Like, is he gonna call me or I don't know? And like, I'm kind of glad I didn't listen to him. If I had to say who's the one person I'm glad I listened to throughout my whole 20s was Jason David Frank. Like, I met him for the first time when I was 22 years old, and I lost him last year. And I still think about him every day and everything that, I've done with the guy. Like, sure, I didn't get to interact with him a lot, like the way I wish I would have. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I wish I was more fearless throughout my 20s. Like, I was not. I was just too chicken shit. Like, if I had to say one of the reasons why I was so, like, financially irresponsible is because I'll be honest, I didn't really work a job until I was like 25. Like throughout most of my 20s while I was in college, like sure, my mom always told me study, study. Like I took advantage of financial aid, and that was like until like like it took me a long time to finish school because another thing I hate about my 20s is that helping my mom. Like I understand my mom needed help at the time with like my youngest sister, especially when she was just a baby, and now that sister's now preteen and my other two sisters they're all grown up, they don't like need me or anything. And I like sure, like I look back at that time, I feel like I wasted my early 20s just helping my mom with my sisters. Like sure, even though she's thankful for me doing that, but I feel like that took away a lot of things from me. Like I didn't really have like a social life when I was younger, and that's the thing. Like I didn't when I started college, I did not talk to anyone from high school. Like I wanted to pretend like I was someone new in like the college I was going to. If I saw someone that I knew from high school, I would pretend I never know them or anything. Like I don't know why I was like that when I was younger. I thought when I started school, it'll be a fresh start, like all that stuff. Cause I'll be honest, I was just a loner in high school. Like I was just a loner. And sure, like even though I did okay in college, like I really hate some of my early college years. Like I just hated how I was kind of antisocial. Like, I barely talk to people. Like, sure, I have one friend that I'm still friends to this very day, 10 years later, and I'm really glad I met him. Shout out to you, Colin. And he's like one of my truest friends ever, and I feel like someone that's been through thick and thin with me throughout my 20s. And for him, I'm eternally grateful. And sure, there are some people that I wish I could have sticked around longer as friends, but it just didn't happen. It's like you get when you get older, you just grow apart from some of these people. And as for me, like, one thing that I'm really hoping to throughout my 30s is just, like how I mentioned, like I am more financially responsible than I am when I was younger, and I'm, heading towards what I want to be. Like everyone struggles with what they want to do with their lives. Like, what do you want to do career lives? Where do you see yourself 10 years ago? Like, if I told myself when I was 20 that I would befriend the Green Ranger, I would have not believed it. But here's the thing, even though when I was studying to be a filmmaker, I always had this idea, like if I do a TV show or short films, I always have ranger actors like cameo. Like I feel like that would be the way to get them to like get to know them instead of going to the cons to go up and meet them. Which it's funny how life turns out. But if I had to say, other than meeting JDF and all these rangers, I'm glad I met Jesse Flower or Michaela Murphy, who's the voice of Top Bayfon, who's now become like one of my dearest friends ever. And I'm like really grateful I could, continue like my journey and have her by my side because I love her. And if there's anything I really want to do throughout my 30s is that I just want to be the best person that I could be. Like, especially the video I did about Veronica Taylor, like her praising me and her kindness. It's like, that's something I really want to take to heart throughout my 30s. And when I look back when I'm 39, like 10 years from now, yeah, let's hope I keep that promise. Anyway, thank you so much, recorders. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go celebrate my birthday with some of my dearest friends. Thank you so much for all your support throughout the years, and I can't wait to continue growing this channel, and who knows where it's going to be throughout this decade. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe button, comment down below, give me a like, and remember, I'm on Cameo if you like a special shout out for me, and catch you next time!